Yo, what's up, everybody? First and goal, college football, week 13. The season's almost over, but we will do this for college basketball. So make sure you guys tap in for the win, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, man, we got another week here. Big week, big slate. A lot of teams trying to get into this playoff. So let's just run down. I'm going to go through all the games this week. So hopefully you guys like these picks. Let's make this money. All right, we starting with the Friday games. We got Temple 3-7 on the season, heading out to play against UTSA. UTSA 5-5. They need this win for a bowl game, so this spread is warranted. UTSA is laying -17, and for good measures, good reason. I like UTSA in this spot. Don't know if they cover this, but we know they will win. Let's move along here. We got Purdue 1-9 on the season, 0-7 in the Big Ten play. Michigan State is 4-6, so they're 2 wins away from a bowl game. Next week they got Rutgers, I believe, so it's another possibly winnable game. They will win this game -13.5. Only way to look is Michigan State come out, and I think Charles he tries to limit the turnovers this week against this terrible Purdue team who's 0-7 in the Big Ten play. I mean, if it's not broke, why are you trying to fix it? Purdue 0-7 on the year. It will take another L. Let's go to the next game. UNLV back in the rankings, number 24, facing off against San Jose State. And this San Jose State team has some talent on the team. The quarterback is solid. I like that kid wide receiver Nash. He's one of the top receivers in the whole college football this season. If you haven't seen this kid, he goes up, gets it, is a tall receiver. I actually lean San Jose in the points in this game just because they're at home. Coming off of a tough loss against Boise. They were up 14-zip, but Boise didn't quit. You know, Boise's out there. They're going to get a playoff bid, in my eyes. As long as they win the Mountain West title, they'll be in there. But let's take San Jose with the points in this game. A game I won't be betting. I'll just be watching. But if you guys want to bet, you need some way to lean. Let's go San Jose with the points. Next game, we're going Saturday. Let's go. We got number 5. Hold on 1 second. Real quick, to make sure it's not all ranked matchups. All right, we good. It's not all ranked matchups. All right, so we got the big boy game. Indiana, number 5. Indiana facing off against Ohio State, number 2. Ohio State. And only way to play this game is Ohio State. I know it's a lot of points. But who has Indiana really beat? I know they beat Michigan, but Michigan's offense is terrible. I give Indiana all the credit in the world. They're undefeated at this point in the season. It's hard no matter who you're playing. But now you got to go play Ohio State, one of the blue bloods in college football. So I lean Ohio State -13.5. I know it's a lot of points, but the only way to play is Ohio State in this game. Shot out to Indiana, though. I think Will Howard and the boys will be ready. Ohio State did lose their center. That might hurt them a little bit in the early goings, but let's take Ohio State. Next game. Number 8, Miami, 9-1 on the season. Facing off against Wake Forest, and this Wake Forest team is terrible. Only way to play this game is Miami -24. They're coming off of a tough loss to Georgia Tech, and I think they have a bad taste in their mouth. I think they come out and win by 30 points. I like first half better Miami. I think they come out early and often in this game to beat Wake Forest to keep their playoff hopes alive. Next game, number 9, Ole Miss. 8-2 on the season, facing off against the Florida team who's 5-5 on the season. Still need 1 win to become bowl eligible. Ole Miss is -10.5. Over and under 55 in a hook. I have to play this game. I'm taking Florida just because they're fighting for that bowl game. And if you didn't see last week, they beat an LSU team who's not a slouch. I know LSU fell off a little bit here at the end of the year, but I like this Florida team getting 10.5. Ole Miss, They're a great team, great defense. But them going to the swamp, this is one of the toughest places to play in college football. So I like the points here with Florida. I think Lagway can do enough to get this cover and possibly outright win. You know, it's chaos season. Ole Miss better be on upset alert. I like Florida here with the point. Next game, number 13, SMU 9-1 on the season, 6-0 in conference play. Facing off against a Virginia team who's 5-5, they're also looking for a win to become bowl eligible, and I don't think they get it. I think SMU wins. This is a steep number to lay 10. The only way is SMU, and I'm gonna tell you why. If SMU wins this game, they're in their conference title, no matter if they lose the next week. So I think SMU wraps it up here, comes in, and not play any games. You haven't seen this kid Jennings from Oak Cliff. He's the real deal. He can run out the pocket. He can throw on the run. I think SMU and his high-power offense will do enough to cover this number. So let's take SMU here with the points, -10. Only way to play that game, in my opinion. Next game, another 9 a.m. game. Number 25, Illinois. Wow, Illinois is back ranked. I'm surprised by that wholeheartedly. Facing off against a Rutgers team who's been okay this year, They haven't exceeded expectations. This is where I thought they would be. Average team, they already got a bowl game. Illinois -1. Tough game, man. I don't know. It might be Rutgers senior night. I'm not too sure. I haven't did much research on this game. Might win in Illinois. For the game, I would advise everybody just stay away from that game. Let's move along. We got Iowa 6-4 on the season, 4-3 in the Big Ten play. Going out here to College Park, Maryland. Maryland's 4-6 on the year, 1-6 in Big Ten play. In Warrington, Iowa's -6 on the road. I couldn't lay 6.5 for Iowa on the road. I don't think the offense is that great. It has been way better than last year, but I only could look to Maryland in the spot as they're still fighting for a bowl game, plus 6.5. Take it or leave it. Only way I can play that matchup. Next game, UConn and Syracuse, 7-3 on the season. Both these teams have exceeded expectations, and Syracuse is laying a huge number here, -10.5. And I think Syracuse wins this game. Matter of fact, I know Syracuse should win this game. I don't know if they cover the 10.5. UConn is a little feisty team. Let's say UConn covers, but Syracuse will win. Not a lot of chemistry when it comes to mixing that up in the pot. Not too sure about that game, but I know Syracuse will win. I think they want to get the better bowl there for Kyle McCord. But let's take Syracuse, and it might be their senior night. Next game, North Carolina, 6-4 on the season, facing off against Boston College. This is a good matchup here. Boston College fighting for a bowl. North Carolina -3. Slight lean to North Carolina. I know Boston College trying to get a bowl game, but North Carolina team has been playing good as of late. And sometimes these teams that are trying to get a bowl game don't end up getting a bowl game. So you got to keep that in mind. Be careful which you betting on, which teams you betting on this week. Some of these teams just might not get a bowl game. Slight lean to North Carolina. Nothing else to be said there. Next game, we got Jacksonville State facing off against Sam Houston. This is going to be a banger. I know it's a Conference USA game, and you guys are like, why is this going to be a banger? I'm going to tell you why. Both these teams are fighting for a Conference USA title. If Jacksonville State slips up in this game, Sam Houston will take their slot. Jacksonville State, I think they've won 7 or 8 in a row. Only way to look is Jacksonville State in this matchup, just because they're at home. This Sam Houston team has improved. They just moved up to FBS level, I believe, a couple years now. So, shout out to Sam Houston, 8-2 on the season. But this is where the magic ends. Jacksonville State, let's take them to win and cover the -6. And Georgia versus UMass. Georgia or none, you can't play UMass plus the 42. They're going up against the juggernaut. And even Georgia's backup can cover this number. So we're not going to say much about this game. Let's move along. Georgia or nothing. Next game, UTEP, Tennessee, same thing. Tennessee or nothing. Tennessee is known for blowing out these cupcakes. Look at their schedule beginning of the year, beating teams by 60 plus. So Tennessee or pass. Next game, we got Western Kentucky versus Liberty. Another Conference USA matchup. And I like Western Kentucky. I just think they're the better team than Liberty this season. Liberty is usually the best team in the Conference USA, but I think they've taken a step back. So if I had to play this game, lean to Western Kentucky, a matchup that I wouldn't put any money on. With slight lean in Western Kentucky, if you guys are gonna bet it. No spread for the Florida State. Let's move along. We got Ball State at home, facing off against Bowling Green. And, Bowling Green's 5-1 in the MAC. I think they're still fighting for a MAC championship. Slight lean to Bowling Green. But be careful with this one, ladies and gentlemen. Ball State can be out here to ruin somebody else's season. Be careful with this matchup. We're gonna say slight lean to Bowling Green. I've seen them play; they're not that good. Ball State is terrible stuff. Tough game to call right there, especially laying 12 on the road. Next game, we got a toilet bowl here. Rice 3-7 on the season, facing off against UAB. Rice minus 6.5. How could you lay 6.5 with a team that's 3-7, facing off against a 2-8 team? Slight lean to UAB just because they're at home, getting points. Nothing else to really be said about that matchup. Next game, another toilet bowl, 3-7, and another 2-8 team. Let's just roll with Michigan State because they're at home, man. Minus 3. Only way to look. Now I will tell you this New Mexico State team, I've seen them play a little bit. Their defense is atrocious, you know what I'm saying? Slightly in the middle 10, but nothing major here. Let's move along to some better games. James Madison, 8-2 on the season. Man, how about James Madison, man? This program has been good the past 2 seasons. They lost a lot of players this year. The coach left. They all went to Indiana. They're still 8-2. 4-2 in Sun Belt play. One up against App State. Now, if you don't know, App State has a history of being good. Tough matchup to call, man. I like JMU, but I think this is a tough spot playing against App State. I think they'll get up for this game. I don't know who they got on deck. I'm gonna take a quick look on my phone. Let me see who. Because it looks like, App State is only 2 wins away from the bowl game. So they possibly can get this dub this week. But like I said, man, be careful this week. This is a week a lot of people think certain teams have to win, and they won't win. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm clicking on it right now. Sorry for the wait. They got 2 tough games. They play Georgia Southern next week. That's a tough matchup, man. Light lean to App State with the points, but yeah, matter of fact, stay away from that game. JMU or nothing. I'm changing my pick. JMU or nothing. Next game, Arizona facing off against TCU. TCU 6-4 in season. They're already bowl eligible. Arizona is 4-6 in the season. They need 2 wins to become bowl eligible. I think Arizona fights. TCU might still win this game, but giving them 12.5 points, that's too many points. TCU is not that good of a team in my eyes. Seed is still over there at Arizona. McMillan, one of the top wide receivers in this class. So I got to go Arizona plus the boatload of points. Only way I can look, I would not lay 12.5 for TCU. Next game, Florida International facing off against Kennesaw. How about Kennesaw, man? Kennesaw, they got a win on the season. They upset Liberty. Kennesaw is terrible, man. Florida International is terrible too, but only way I can look for Florida International, just because Kennesaw is trash. They just moved up to FBS. So slight lean to FIU. Let's move along here. Arkansas State, 6-4 on the season, already bowl eligible, facing off against the UNL Monroe team. We're solid. You know, I've seen a few games they had. I like Monroe here. Plus 2.5. I think they could become bowl eligible. Let's see what they got next on deck. Ooh, they play a tough matchup. They play a rival though. They could upset them next week, but slight lean to Monroe to try to get that bowl game. But as I stated before, the theme of this week: be careful. Some of these teams might not win and they might not get a bowl. Slight lean to Monroe next game. South Alabama, a team that will get a bowl game. Look who they're facing off against. Southern Miss 1-9, 0-6 in Sun Belt play. Laying 22.5 on the road, South Alabama for a reason. Only way to play it is to lay it. Man, a lot of points. Trying to get a bowl though, man. South Alabama's a solid team, man. I've seen them. They got a solid line. So I like South Alabama in the spot. Next game, another toilet bowl. Charlotte -3 facing off against Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic, man, they 0-6 in American. I think they get their first win here, slightly in the Florida Atlantic. And another toilet bowl. Stay away from it. Next game. Let's go, man. We got Texas here. Number 3 Texas on the season. Facing off against Kentucky. This Kentucky team has been weird this year. Like, they beat an Ole Miss team on the road. That's good. And then, you know, they just away their season. They hung with Georgia, only lost by 1, but it seems like every other game they haven't did anything. Let's go Texas. I like Texas in the spot. Senior night, I think they firing on all cylinders, getting ready. I think they want to get a blowout real quick before they play A&M so they can rest some of their players. I like Texas first half and full game. First half a little more, though. Let's take Texas in the spot -20.5. Next game, number 4 Penn State, 9-1 on the season. Facing off with Minnesota, who's 6-4. Feisty Minnesota team. Penn State laying 11.5 here, ladies and gentlemen. Over and under 44 on the hook. I'm going to tell you guys this. Penn State will win this game. And will they cover? I don't know. But you know me. If I'm playing a game, I like to take the team I'm taking. You know, that's the side I like. So, slightly in Penn State, but I don't like the past double digits. This game could be a 7-point. It could be a 10-point game. And Penn State doesn't cover. So be careful with that one. But Penn State should win this game to keep the playoff hopes alive. How about this game, ladies and gentlemen? BYU, number 14 BYU. 9-1 on the season, 6-1 in Big 12 play. Facing off against a surprising team, probably one of the most underrated teams in all of college football. Number 21 Arizona State, 8-2, and they're at home. This line has got brought down a little bit. It was ASU -3.5. This is a tough matchup for me to call. I've been going back and forth on this all week. I still don't know who to really pick, so maybe you want to check back later in the week. I should do an updated video for you guys with just some of my top plays, and we'll go over the top 25 and some of the big games. But until then, right now, I'm leaning BYU plus the point, especially if it was 3 and a hook. I like it more. I just think this big BYU team is going to fight to the end. They know they can win out. They will definitely get a playoff spot. The winner of this is most likely going to be in a Big 12 title. So this is a big game for both of these teams. I don't know if Arizona State, maybe if Arizona State wins out, they could possibly get a bid to the championship too. So that's why this is a real tough game for me to call. Right now, I'm slightly leaning BYU, but my pick can change later on in the week. Arizona State has Scatterboo running back. This BYU run defense is a little soft, so it hurt them, especially being on the road here. Sounds like I'm talking myself in the ASU. See, man, I'm going back and forth. Slightly to BYU, but that game could go either way. Next game, Coach Prime, Shiloh, number 16, Colorado, man. We're trying to get a playoff. 82 on the year, 6-1 in Big 12 play. Kansas is 4-6, 3-4 in Big 12 play. Colorado laying 3. This line is telling me everything I know. You guys seen the video last week. You know I was all over Kansas. If you seen the best bets, went 3-0. Pitt, Kansas, Georgia. all with the spreads, all hit. So I'm going back to the well, I think, in this one. I think I'm going Kansas plus the 3. I know the whole world probably on Colorado, probably on the island here with Kansas. But if you look at Kansas' last 5 games, they were all one-score games, close games. Even the games they lost, good competition, were one-score games. I like Kansas in this spot, especially if you can tease up Kansas. That should be an easy one. But we're going straight up Kansas plus the 3. Sprinkle on the money line. I think they can shock this Colorado team. And shout out to Colorado, man. I wish this team nothing but the best. Part of me wants this team to win, but something's been telling me that the Kansas team is still fighting. They still truly believe they can get a bowl game. If they win this game, they just got to win at Baylor. I think they can beat. They'll be in a bowl game. So this team has not given up on the season. You got Colorado coming into your house, so I know they're coming off of a big win, but they'll be juiced up for this one as well. So let's take Kansas plus 3. Next game, the Citadel versus Clemson. No points. Move along. Next game here, Northwestern facing off against Michigan in the big house. Michigan minus 10.5, over and under 36.5. This low total. Wow, I didn't realize how low this total was. I think it's going to be a struggle for Northwestern to score. Michigan should win. Don't know if they cover. Michigan needs this win for a bowl game. We know Northwestern is trash, so I think Michigan can win this game off running the ball alone. Let's take Michigan. Only way to play it in my eyes is Michigan. But be careful. This is a high spread and a low total. So always be aware when you see that, ladies and gentlemen. You see a minus 10 and a 36.5 total. This might be a 7-point type game. But Michigan will win in a bowl game. Next game, Wisconsin 5-5 on the season. Both of these teams are fighting, facing off against the Nebraska team that's 5-5 on the season. Nebraska minus 2.5. I lean Nebraska in this one. The line has went up. The money came in on Nebraska, and rightfully so. If you guys don't know Wisconsin, I believe they fired their offensive coordinator. I think this was the wrong time to do it. Right before a tough game where they play Nebraska. And Nebraska needs this win so bad. If you don't know, last year they had 5 wins almost half the season. A little bit past halfway point last season and didn't get a bowl game. They've had 5 wins since halfway through this season, and they still not bowl eligible. So I gotta think Nebraska at home is juiced up here, and they're coming out to fight. They know they need to win badly. I think Raiola pieces up this Wisconsin secondary. Also, Wisconsin coming off of a tough loss against Oregon. I think that drained them last week. I like Nebraska here in this spot. Possibly be a best bet for the show. We'll see later this week. Next game. A lot of games on this plate, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. We got Cal at home facing off against Stanford. And Cal needs this game, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's a thing. Be careful. But Cal should win this game. I'm laying a 14 in the hood. A little tricky, but the only way I can see is Cal in a blowout and a rout. Take Cal in this next game. Oklahoma State versus Texas Tech. This looks like a little trap here. Texas Tech only laying 3 in the hood. Stillwater. Oklahoma State on 7 in Big 12 play. I gotta think they come out here and get a dub. Let's take Oklahoma State plus 3.5. Just looking at this line, it's fishy. Oklahoma State is the play in that one. Next game, UCF. Central Florida disappointed on the year. I thought this team would be much better. They're favoring on the road in Morgantown. Wow. Let me see who West Virginia plays next week. This line right here is fishy. This line is crazy fishy. I ain't even noticed it. Let me see. West Virginia on deck. They have Texas Tech. Man, you would think West Virginia will get this dub, right? I'm going to take UCF just because of the line. I'm going to say UCF wins this game. They got another winnable game next week. I think UCF might win this game. This line is really fishy. Slight lean to UCF for the game. Stay away from. Next game, San Diego State facing off against Utah State. Toilet Bowl. Both these teams same record on the season and same record in Mountain West play. Just give me the points. Both these teams trash. Only way to look plus the 5 for San Diego State next game. Coastal Carolina is trying to get a bowl game. Going against Georgia Southern. I think Georgia Southern is the better team. So slightly to Georgia Southern. Stay away from this one, man. Another tricky spread. Another team trying to get a bowl game. I don't like this matchup. I like Georgia Southern. I think they're the better team. Slightly to them, but staying away. Next game, North Texas against ECU. North Texas trying to get a bowl game. Slightly to them. I've been riding this ECU team though for the past 3-4 weeks. They've been getting the job done, man. They've been pulling teams out a lot. I like this quarterback. They put up points. Slightly to North Texas just because I know they're going to fight. But another game, man. Got to be careful this week. Next game, South Florida. Minus 17 for a reason. South Florida 5-5 on the season. See the teams, when these spreads are this high, they most likely know these teams should win just because they're going to get a bowl game. More than likely so. Slightly to South Florida, this Tulsa defense is horrendous. It's terrible. You can score on them instantly. So I got to think South Florida gets the win. Don't know if they cover that high spread. Too many points. Arkansas, 5-5 on the season. Another team that's right on the cusp of being bowl eligible. Facing off against La Tech. You already know what's going down right here. Arkansas on the route. The only way to look, I think Taylor Green, the boys come out early and often. La Tech cannot hang with the team. Offensive line, defensive line, secondary, in any category. So I like Arkansas to win in a blowout. Next game, Louisville -8 facing off the Pitt. I think it's Louisville's senior night, so I'm rolling that way. Louisville's coming off a brutal loss at Stanford last week. I don't know how that happened. I wasn't paying attention to that game, but I just seen the final score. To lose as a 20-point favorite, I got to think you come back, bounce back here in a game that's senior night. So let's go with Louisville -8. Next game, Mizzou. Number 23, Mizzou. I guess they're still ranked. I don't know if these rankings are super updated. I got to double check. Mizzou against Mississippi State. Mississippi State 0-6 in SEC play. Don't bet this game. Mizzou -7.5. They should win. But why bet it? Mississippi State has not won a game at all in SEC play. So I got to think that they might show up here. So be careful with that one. Mizzou should win. They're the better team. Next game, Troy facing off against Louisiana. Louisiana 8-2. Raging Cajuns having a good season over there. 5-1 in Sun Belt play. Raging Cajuns are nothing, man. They're fighting for a Sun Belt title, and I think they'll probably get it. They're head and shoulders above everybody in the conference. So let's take Raging Cajuns to win this game. Keep your Sun Belt title hopes alive. Next game. What can I say? Number 6 Notre Dame facing off against number 19 Army. Only 9-0 in the season, undefeated, right? Doesn't this look like deja vu? Facing off against Notre Dame. Remember, Navy was undefeated. Everybody was hammering Navy. It was at a neutral site. This game's a neutral site. Looking like deja vu. So you know what I'm gonna do? Do the same thing I did last time. Take Notre Dame, win, and cover first half and full game. Play it. You know, Army's a good story, good team, but who have they really beat? And Notre Dame has already seen a triple option team, so let's go Notre Dame, man. Win and cover. Show the committee they're not playing around. They really trying to still get a bye week. Who knows? They might get one. Let's go Notre Dame. Win and cover. Next game. Number 12 Boise State, and rightfully so, 9-1 on the season. 6-0 in Mountain West play. Facing off against the terrible Wyoming team. This game is supposed to be cold. It might even be some snow in the forecast. Boise State still laying 23. I think that's way too many points to be laying, to be honest. But Boise State will win this game and start looking at some clean sheet props. Going to be a lot of running the ball in this game because of this weather. And I think Gentry goes off for 3 to 4 TDs, 200 plus yards. So let's take Boise State. I don't like a minus the 23, but I know they'll win the game. Next game, Oregon State facing off against Washington State. Washington State coming off of a brutal loss as well. They lost to New Mexico. They were leading the whole game, ended up losing. Facing off against Oregon State South, this is the battle of the Pac-2. If you don't know, both of these teams were left hanging to dry by the Pac-12. So I think this will be a fun matchup. It might be close. I think Washington State gets the win. But tough place to play in Corvallis. If you don't know, it's a tough place. Might lean on Washington State. I just think they have too much offense. They're going to give up some points. This should be another over game. So Washington State or nothing. But it'll be a good matchup, good game to watch. Next game, Houston at home facing off against Baylor. Little in-state rival here. Baylor -8. I slight lean to Baylor. I'm gonna see real quick who Houston has on deck. I don't think Houston is getting a bowl game. I don't even think they deserve it. They started off the year so bad, which is crazy because they have a solid quarterback. I like the quarterback. Yeah, they got BYU on deck, and BYU. I like Baylor in this game. Likely the Baylor -8, but be careful. In-state rival could be a close game. Next game, Texas State or nothing. Told y'all last week Texas State was gonna roll, get that bowl dub. 1-2 on the Sun Belt. Georgia State 0-6 in Sun Belt play. They terrible. Only way to look at Texas State, but that's a lot of points. Next game, Alabama #7. Alabama facing off against Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 5-5. They need one win to become bowl eligible. I don't know if they get it here. Seemed like some sharp money came in on Oklahoma. I remember this line being at 13 and a hook. 14, and now it's 13 and a hook. I kind of agree with the sharp money. I think this is a little past too many points. I know Oklahoma can't score. Slight lean to the under, especially first half. I think it's going to be a slow start for both these teams. And don't forget, Oklahoma still has a solid defense. So I think it could give this defensive line can give this O-line for Alabama some problems early on. Alabama might still win this game, but be careful. This spread seems like a little bit too many points in my eyes. Don't forget, man, this is chaos week. So you're going to be surprised. Some people are going to lose that you don't think is going to lose. Number 15, Texas A&M, 8-2 on the season. Facing off against Auburn, 4-6 on the season. This line, man. This line is telling you to take Auburn, right? I can only play Texas A&M, though. Sorry. I'll play this game. Texas A&M. Reasons being, Auburn has Bama on deck. They could be looking ahead. Texas A&M, they do have Texas on deck. They could be both looking ahead, so that cancels out. So I know Auburn's at home. Tricky spread. Slightly to Texas A&M. Game I won't bet. I like Texas A&M to get a win here because I feel like they still have a chance to make the playoff. So I think they know that. I think they come out here guns blazing. Slightly to Texas A&M. Next game, number 22, Iowa State. How about Iowa State? Facing off against Utah. And Utah's they're atrocious, man. I think they're on like a 5 or 6 game losing streak. Iowa State handled business last week. First half was tied. Came out second half, handled business against Cincinnati. It was a solid Cincinnati team. I give them respect. I give them credit. Iowa State still in the ranking. Still fighting for a Big 12 title. I think Iowa State can play here. I don't like the hook on it because we are going out there to Salt Lake City, which used to be a hard place to play. Not so much anymore. So I like Iowa State in that matchup. Next game, Marshall versus Old Dominion. Marshall, man, 5-1 Sun Belt play. But this Old Dominion team is fighting. I Slightly lean to Old Dominion last week. Played good. Slightly lean to Old Dominion. Only way to look in that game. Not much more to be said. Game I like right here. Both these teams 6-4, 3-3 on the season. LSU versus Vanderbilt. How about Vanderbilt, Papia? Gotta give them a lot of credit. They were ranked at one point in the season, but LSU coming off 3 straight losses. I think they show up here, man. I think they show up and show out. LSU minus the 8. Only way to play that. Duke versus Virginia Tech. Tech minus 3. Tech needs this win to get a bowl game. Now they could win next week, but I think they get the dub this week. I believe they're coming off 2 straight losses. We're taking Tech. I like Tech in this matchup. Next game. K-State minus 9 versus Cincinnati. Oh man, Cincinnati's been in a tough spot, man. They need a bowl game bad. K-State's coming off with a tough loss. You know the boys will be ready to bounce back. I liked K-State last week, and they let me down. I don't think they let me down this week, though. I like K-State in this matchup, minus the 9. Be careful, though, like I always say. Be careful laying points with K-State. They like to keep these games close. K-State should win this game. Enough said there. Next game, 7:30 p.m. We got a rival here, USC versus UCLA. USC minus 4.5, over and under 51 in the hook. I'm going with my team, man. I'm going with USC. Mavia, he didn't look so good in the first half last week. Honestly, he didn't look good the whole game, but he held it down, got it together. He had good stats, but some of the throws were very questionable. He did last week against Nebraska. UCLA has been fighting, but they got beat on last week against Washington. I think them with all the travel, flying around, USC got to stay home. I like USC. Now, UCLA does have extra rest advantage, but I like USC in this matchup. I think they're fighting for a little more. With one win, they get a bowl game. Next game, Toilet Bowl. Nevada. Nevada's favorite for a reason. Air Force is terrible. Air Force coming off 2 big wins. I like Nevada here in the spot. I think they're favorite. But you know something for a reason. Next game, last game on the slate here. Colorado State facing off against Fresno State. We're going with Colorado State. 5-0 in Mountain West play. I think they're fighting for that Mountain West title. I think they want to go play Boise. I'm going with Colorado State plus the 3. I actually like this game a lot here, now that I'm looking at it. Nice slate. Had to run down it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We will do another video this week. Check out the NFL First and Goal edition. Yeah, man. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Meantime, in between time, let's get this cash out.
This is not financial advice. Yeah. Nah, I don't judge. Eat how you gonna eat, keep it legit. And please don't bother me, rather in advance. Or you hit the lottery, buy new commodities.